Does gasoline go bad? Hey engineering moms! Today we're going to talk about something that's present in practically every car, motorcycle, and machine we use in our daily lives: gasoline. But a question that crosses a lot of people's minds is whether gasoline goes bad or if it can lose its properties over time. That's right, this is a more important question than you might think, especially if you have a car sitting in the garage for a few months or fuel stored at home. The quick answer is yes, gasoline does go bad. But to understand how and why this happens, we first need to understand what gasoline is and how it behaves when stored. Gasoline is a complex mixture of hydrocarbons, which are molecules made up of carbon and hydrogen. These molecules are quite unstable when exposed to certain environmental factors. And it's exactly this instability that causes the fuel to degrade over time. But what is the main culprit behind gasoline degradation? Oxygen. When gasoline comes into contact with oxygen in the air, a chemical reaction called oxidation occurs. In this reaction, the hydrocarbon molecules react with oxygen and form new substances such as acids and sludge. The sludge is sticky residue that accumulates in the fuel and can damage the engine. Have you ever seen that brown or yellowish residue in a container of old gasoline? Well, that's the result of oxidation. Now let's take a closer look at how this reaction works. As I already said, gasoline is mainly composed of hydrocarbons. And a simple example is octane, which is one of the main components of gasoline. When octane comes into contact with oxygen, an oxidation reaction occurs. The complete reaction can be represented like this. When two molecules of octane react with 25 molecules of oxygen, they produce 16 molecules of carbon dioxide and 18 molecules of water. But that's just the complete combustion that happens in the engine. During storage, what really happens is partial oxidation. The hydrocarbon molecules start to break down and recombine, forming intermediate compounds, and it happens in stages. First, we have initiation or the formation of radicals. Oxygen reacts with the hydrocarbon, often with the help of light, heat, or metals, to form a carbon-centered radical and a hydroperoxyl radical. And then we have propagation or the formation of hydroperoxides. The carbon-centered radical reacts quickly with oxygen to form a peroxyl radical, which then abstracts a hydrogen atom from another hydrocarbon molecule, forming a hydroperoxide or ROOH and generating a new radical, making the reaction a chain reaction. These free radicals are like small, highly reactive molecules that attack other hydrocarbon molecules, causing further degradation. This process is called a free radical chain reaction. As the reaction continues, the molecules combine in increasingly complex ways, forming polymers and sludge. This sludge consists of very large and heavy molecules that don't burn well in the engine and leave residues. That's why old gasoline leaves that sticky deposit on the injectors and engine valves. In addition, during oxidation, organic acids are also formed. When hydroperoxides break down, they can form aldehydes and ketones, which later oxidize to form carboxylic acids. These acids increase the acidity of gasoline, which can corrode metallic components of the fuel system, such as pipes and injectors. Acidity is measured by the acid number, and the higher this number, the more degraded the gasoline is. But what about evaporation? Besides oxidation, there's another important factor: evaporation. Gasoline is a volatile liquid, which means its lighter components evaporate easily when exposed to air. When you leave a container of gasoline open, the more volatile components escape into the atmosphere, leaving behind a heavier, less efficient fuel mixture. This reduces the quality of the gasoline and its ability to burn properly in the engine. The more volatile components are precisely those with smaller molecules, like pentane and hexane, which have lower boiling points. So how long does it take for gasoline to go bad? Well, that depends on several factors. Under ideal storage conditions, gasoline can last from 3 to 6 months without degrading. But what are ideal conditions? Basically, gasoline should be stored in a sealed container in a cool, dark place and away from sources of heat. Temperature is crucial because heat accelerates both oxidation and evaporation. If you leave gasoline in a hot place, like a shed exposed to the sun, it can start to degrade within a matter of weeks. But what if I have a car that's been sitting for a year? Did the gasoline in its tank go bad? Probably yes, especially if the tank wasn't completely full. When the tank has empty space, there's more air in contact with the gasoline, which speeds up oxidation. In addition, old gasoline can leave sludge deposits in the fuel system, clogging injectors and harming engine performance. In addition, old gasoline can leave sludge deposits in the fuel system, clogging injectors and harming engine performance. That's why it's recommended to use gasoline within a reasonable period. And if the car is left unused for a long time, it's better to empty the tank or add a fuel stabilizer. Speaking of stabilizers, do you know what they are? Fuel stabilizers are chemical additives that slow down the oxidation and evaporation of gasoline. They work by creating a barrier that protects hydrocarbon molecules from contact with oxygen, or they act as antioxidants, capturing free radicals before they cause more damage. If you add quality stabilizer to gasoline, you can extend its shelf life for up to 2 years, depending on storage conditions. This is especially useful for people who have seasonal machines like lawn mowers or generators that are stored away for months. I'll leave some stabilizer options here in the video. Just click on the products that appear here on the screen. Or if you prefer, there are links with some options in the video description. So how can you tell if the gasoline has gone bad? There are a few signs. If the gasoline has an unpleasant smell, different from normal, it's a sign that oxidation has occurred. If it has a darker color or a cloudy appearance, that's also an indication of degradation. And if you try to use spoiled gasoline in your car, you may notice difficulty starting, lack of power, or even engine misfiring. In extreme cases, degraded gasoline can damage components of the fuel system. If you've made it this far and enjoyed the video, take the opportunity to subscribe if you haven't already, leave your like, and activate the notification bell. And if you find our content interesting, consider becoming a member to help us keep producing content here on the platform and to be mentioned in our videos. If you've made it this far, I invite you to take a look at the courses we recommend. So point your phone at the QR code here on the screen, or click the link in the description for the courses we recommend. There you'll find courses on Excel, 3D modeling, AutoCAD, public speaking, and many others. And these are courses selected by us here on the channel, and we can vouch for their quality. And if you want to start your online presence and begin recording and producing content for social media, this QR code links to the equipment we use here in our studios. What about you? Have you ever had experience with spoiled gasoline? Have you ever left your car parked for a long time and faced problems when trying to start it again? Leave it here in the comments because I want to know. On the site, there are 2 interesting video options that you need to watch to expand your knowledge and explore your curiosity. If you'd like to support us, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and consider joining as a member. That's it, engineering enthusiasts. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.